Good morning, class. Let's start with Act 4, Scene 1 today. It is page number 114. Scene 1, Venice, a court of justice. Enter the Duke, the Magnificos, Antonio, Bassanio, Bresciano, Salario, and others. Now, I hope you remember in Act 3, Bassanio has finally won the casket thing and he's married to Portia now. And this Portia, she gets to know about Antonio and the bond, and she's the one who helps Antonio, not directly, but of course by giving gold to Bassanio so that he can go and save Antonio. Now at the same time we get to see that Portia has made Lorenzo and Jessica the owners or the managers of a house. She has told them to take care of a house and till the time she returns. Now, according to her, she has told Bassanio that she'll be going to a monastery which is just 2 miles away, where she and Nerissa they'll sit, they'll pray, and they'll meditate. However, as an audience, we know that she's not going to the monastery, but she has other plans. Now, later on in that act as well, we get to know what her plans are. We can see that she has sent her trusted servant Balthazar to Padua to meet her cousin Dr. Bellario. Now, Dr. Bellario has sent some clothes and some documents for Portia. Portia has planned of disguising herself and Nerissa as men and then entering into the court. Now, of course, that is the whole background. We all know about it. Apart from that, we also get to see that Antonio is in extreme pain. He's actually feeling bad about his bond thing. He goes to meet Shylock. However, Shylock is, not ready to listen. He's not in a mood to listen to him. He's not even ready to take money. He's acting weird. And Shylock, he's only asking for justice. He wants justice. And what is justice according to Shylock? That his bond should be accepted in the court and he get a pound of flesh from Antonio's body. So that is what Shylock wants. And finally, Act 4 connects everything together. In Act 4, it's a trial scene, right? It's a court scene. Here, finally, we get to meet everyone in the court, right? So we'll get to see Antonio, Shylock, Bassanio, all his friends, and Portia and Nerissa dressed as the lawyer and the clerk, right? With a letter of recommendation from Portia's cousin, Dr. Bellario. Now, Dr. Bellario was the one who was supposed to defend Antonio, and Duke had, Duke must have called Dr. Bellario, and that is why Dr. Bellario was well aware of the court scene. Not court scene, he was aware of the bond and the dispute between Antonio and Shylock. So he made all the documents in a proper way and he sends them to Portia. Now, Portia is the one who will act on behalf of her cousin as a lawyer. She'll take care of the case and she's a very good lawyer. We'll get to see that here. And how she, she'll support Shylock and suddenly she changes the case in a very different manner. And everything is, of course, in favor of Antonio, and Shylock is the one who suffers in the end. Shylock suffers only because of his stubbornness. So let's see what happens here. Page number 114 of your book. Duke. What, is Antonio here? So he's asking if Antonio is present in the court. Antonio, ready, so please your grace. So he says, yes, your grace, I'm ready, I'm here. Now, if you see this, your grace, again and again, remember, your grace is like your honor. The way we say in the Indian courts, your honor, your honor. So there, the people, they say your grace, okay? That's what you need to remember. So remember, grace here is not mercy. Here, grace means we're talking to the Duke. Page 115, Duke. I'm sorry for thee. Means I'm feeling sorry for you, Antonio. Thou art come to answer a stony adversary. Means you've come here to answer a stony adversary. This stone-hearted person, because of this stone-hearted person, you had to be here. An inhuman wretch, incapable of pity, void and empty from any dram of mercy. A person who is inhuman. Apart from that, he is incapable of showing pity, he is empty, and he has got no drop of mercy in him. Now, you have to remember, apart from that, that we are talking about, or this play has got religious biasness as well. We get to see that they all are Christian here, and they're taking advantage, somewhat an advantage of it. Even the Duke is Christian, Duke is supporting Antonio. Everyone is together except Shylock. Why? Because Shylock is a Jew. So finally you will get to see that everything changes, and maybe they are saying that Shylock is a foreigner. Now you have to remember, Shylock is not a foreigner actually, but these Christians, they do not consider Shylock um, as a citizen of Venice, and that is why they keep on saying that he's a foreigner, right? And of course, I'm not talking about only Shylock. These Jews, they are from Israel, and that is why these Christians, they feel that these Jews are foreigners, and that is why this whole thing takes place here, right? So let's continue, and you can see how Duke is supportive of Antonio, how everyone is supporting Antonio because he's a Christian and he's one of the richest merchant of Venice. Shylock, he's a Jew and he's a money lender. Shylock, he's filled with enmity. And there's a reason, because the way Antonio used to treat him. I hope you remember, Antonio used to spit on him, kick him, and push him, call him a dog, and the same thing is happening again. You'll get to see that even in the court, these Christians, of course, Antonio's friends and all, they will call him dog, they'll abuse him, and everyone is against Shylock. So let's see how it ends. Antonio, I have heard your grace has taken great pains to qualify his rigorous course. So Antonio says here that I have heard your grace have taken great pains to qualify his rigorous course. Means I know that you've tried your best to moderate these strict court proceedings. But since he stands obdurate, but since Shylock is obdurate means determined. He is fixed, he wants his revenge, and that no lawful means can carry me, and that there is no law that can actually save me out of his envy's reach. I do oppose my patience to his fury. So he says here, I know that there is no lawful means by which I can be saved, and therefore I have already given up. I am ready to face his anger with patience, and am armed to suffer, and I have prepared myself to suffer with a quietness of spirit. I have even made my spirit quiet, the very tyranny and rage of his. I have prepared myself to face his cruelty and his anger. Duke, go one and call the Jew into the court. Now you'll get to know how Antonio has already given up, right? He has already given up hope of being saved. And he even feels that Shylock, you know, will of course be cruel enough to cut a pound of flesh. And so there's no hope, there's no way Antonio can be saved. So Duke calls Shylock in the court. He says, go one and call the Jew into the court. Cellario, he is ready at the door. He comes, my lord. Enter Shylock. Now Shylock enters in. Let's see what Duke has to say. Make room means make some space, and let him stand before our face. Let Shylock stand in front of us. Shylock, the world thinks, and I think so too, that thou but leadest this fashion of thy malice to the last hour of act. Shylock, the world thinks, and even I think so too, that you are leading this fashion of your cruelty till the last hour of this act. And then it is thought that you will show your mercy and remorse more strange than is thy strange apparent cruelty. And we also believe that you will show your mercy and pity in a very strange manner, as strange as is your apparent cruelty. And where thou now extract the penalty, which is a pound of this poor merchant's flesh, thou wilt not only lose the forfeiture. So he says here, and we believe that you'll not take the penalty, which is the pound of this poor merchant's flesh. You will not only lose the forfeiture, means you'll not only forego, you'll not only ignore the original amount, but because you will be touched with human gentleness and love, forgive a moiety of the principal. So he says here to Shylock that we believe that you will be touched with humanity and you will ignore, you will not take the pound of flesh from Antonio. And apart from that, when you're touched with human and human gentleness and love, what you'll do is you'll not even take the penalty or the principal amount, and that is what we believe. You'll even forgive a portion of his principal amount. Maybe you'll not take the complete principal amount, but some money. That have of late so hurdled on his back, and glancing an eye of pity on his losses. And when you look at his losses, how Antonio is suffering, we believe that you will understand that how a royal merchant like him is pressed down, is brought, he's ruined because of his losses. Page 116. And pluck commiseration of his state. And after looking at his condition, at his financial condition, we believe that you will draw pity. You will show pity from your brassy bosom and rough hearts of flint, from your heart or your chest that is made of brass and your heart that is made of stone, from stubborn Turks and Tartars, never trained to office of tender courtesy. So he says here, I know that there are tribes like Turks and Tartars. These are Asiatic races, and these people were believed to be uncivilized. So he says here, I know that there are people who are not trained enough, they are uncivilized, and they can never show pity. But we believe that you can show pity too, and we all expect a gentle answer. So he says here, we all expect a gentle answer from you, Shylock. Now, in the context part, mark 32, Turks and Tartars, certain Asiatic races, which the Elizabethans believed to be uncivilized. Brassy bosom, it says hearts as hard as brass, rough hearts of flint, rough stony hearts, right? Now come to the Shylock's speech. This is again one of the most important speeches. You can mark page 116, Shylock. Shylock says here, I have possessed your grace of what I purpose. Means I have informed you, I have told you what I intend, what I really want. And by our holy Sabbath have I sworn to have the due and forfeit of my bond. So he says here, and on our holy Sabbath, I have taken an oath to have not only the due amount but also the penalty of my bond. Shylock says here that, I have taken an oath on my holy day. Now, Jews, for them, the holy day is Saturday, and for Christians, it is Sunday. Although we both, Christians and Jews, they call it Sabbath, but for Christians, Sabbath is on Sunday, and for Jews, Sabbath is on Saturday. So he says here, I have taken an oath on that very day in the temple that I will have my bond no matter what. If you deny it, let the danger light upon your charter and your city's freedom. So he tells Duke directly that if you deny my bond, then let the danger befall on your freedom, on the city's freedom. See, it says here, line number 38, 39, if you do not uphold the law, then Venice's freedom will disappear. Charter is a document by which Venice was given freedom. So he says here, if you'll not, allow my case in the court, then of course the freedom of your country, of your state, will be in danger. You will ask me, so he says here, line number 40, you will ask me why I rather choose to have a weight of carrion flesh than to receive 3,000 ducats. So he says here to the Duke that if you're asking me why I wish to have, a pound of rotten flesh rather than 3,000 ducats, I will not answer that. I'm not ready to give you any answer, but say it is my humor. Is it answered? So, however, you can say that I'm doing it for fun. Have you got the answer? What if my house be troubled with a rat, and I be pleased to give 10,000 ducats to have it banned? So he says here, imagine that my house is troubled because of a rat, and I'm ready to pay 10,000 ducats to get it banned, to get it killed. So he says here, what, are you answered yet? So have you got your answer now? He's trying to say that imagine that I am troubled because of a rat, and I'm ready to pay 10,000 ducats to have it killed. In the same way as I am troubled by Antonio, I'm ready to pay any amount to have him killed. Now remember that part, okay? Line number 47. Some men, now he is talking about three types of men. Some people, they cannot have roasted pig. Some people, they cannot see a cat. Some people, they cannot bear the sound of a bagpipe. So he says here, some men there are, love not a gapping pig. Gapping means, it says here, roasted. So he says that there are some men, they don't like roasted pig. Some, they get mad if they behold a cat. Some people, they act crazy when they see a cat. And other, when the bagpipe sings I the note, cannot contain their urine for a. So there are some people, when they hear the sound of the bagpipe, it becomes difficult for them to control themselves. For affection's mistress of passion sways it to the mood of what it likes and loves. It is given right in front of it, 50 and 52. Mark it. He says here, there's a reason why people, they act in such a way. Why I am acting in such a manner. Because feelings that control our emotions are moody. Now these feelings, they're moody and move according to what they like or hate. And our feelings, they actually move according to what we like and hate. For example, if I don't like a thing, then of course my mood will be off and I'll act in a bad manner. But if I like something, suddenly I'll turn into a jolly person and I might act in a different manner that the people might like. So what happens is, when you like something, you act in a very good manner. When you don't like something, you act in a completely different manner, in such a manner that you might even hurt others, right? Or you might create trouble for others. So he says here, what happens is our feelings, they work on the basis of our emotions. And our emotions, they're bound to our likes and dislikes. So we act in the same manner. For example, if you like something, you'll act in a happy way. Right? Remember that, please. Now for your answer. Now finally he tells the Duke that for your answer, as there is no firm reason to be rendered, there is no fixed reason that I can give right now why a person cannot bear a roasted pig, why a person is scared of a harmless, necessary cat, why a person cannot bear a woolen bagpipe, but a force must yield to such inevitable shame, and why he is forced to act in such a shameful manner. Now remember this line, as to offend himself being offended. Again, it is in front of it, 56 and 58. But when he himself is offended, he is compelled to act, to react in such a shameful manner that he must give offense to others. Now, this line is again important, means when you are offended, when a person is in a bad mood or is offended at something, what happens is he reacts in such a way that he tends to offend others, right? For example, if I'm in a bad mood, you come to me, you are all laughing and giggling, and what I'll do is I'll make uh, such comments, or I'll act in such a way that I can turn your mood off, right? I can make you feel bad. If I am offended, I can offend you. That is what Shylock is trying to say here. That when I am offended, I can offend everyone, right? So can I give no reason, nor I will not. So please, I am not bound to give any reason why I hate Antonio. More than a lodged hate and certain loathing, I bear Antonio, that I follow thus a losing suit against him. Are you answered? So he says here, there's a reason why I had this legal case because of Antonio, because how much I hate Antonio. Loathing is hatred, lodged is deep rooted. So he says here, I have this case, I made this bond, and I filed this losing case. Why? Because of my hatred for Antonio. Now we'll stop here, just go through the whole scene, go through these speeches and make sure that you read them every day, right? The rest we'll do in the next video. Thank you.